In this video, I'm going to be showing you the best popper center build for Season 3 of NBA 2K23. We're going to start with the center position. We're going to go 7 foot, 232 pounds. And we're going to go 7'10 wingspan and a built body shape. So for your attributes, we're going to go 85 close shot. I'm going to do a 90 standing dunk. And then we are going to put your driving dunk to a 60 and your driving layup to a 60 and your post control to a 66. That's going to give you the 17 finishing, so we're going to need that in order to get some of these finishing badges here. Overall, this is a really good like popper inside setup, so if you do actually catch things on the roll, you're going to have the ability to finish. 90 standing dunk. You're actually going to get the elite, I think it's elite standing dunk package. You'll get all the standing packages, and then your 85 close shot's going to give you that gold fast twitch, which I feel like is really needed. Now, this is honestly some of the popping centers don't have great inside, and so I think with this build you could still play as an inside but also have the capability of coming out and shooting, which I think is big because some of the centers I've made in the past and it's just harder to do. You overthink one side of the ball. Maybe you put too much shooting, not enough insides. Now when you play you can't finish anything inside, but with this one you'll be able to shoot and actually finish with some of the best like defensive centers around. So overall, I think it's a rare kind of popping center build that actually has the ability to play as an inside. And so now check out the best finishing badge setup for this build. So for the best finishing setup, we're going to go Hall of Fame Giant Slayer. I'm going to go Gold Fearless Finisher. I'm going to go Silver Dream Shake. I'm going to do Bronze Slithery. It's going to like your tier 3s. We're going to go down and get Fast Twitch Gold, Core that, and we'll have Rise Up Gold. So this, I think, is the best finishing setup. You pretty much get a little bit of everything. Dream Shake, if you do go down there and mash, you pump fake a lot, it's going to boost your shot. Fearless is needed when you get those close shots, a little bit of a bump from the defensive player. I suggest Giant Slayer if you feel like you're running into a lot of 7'1", 2s, or 3s. It's going to just kind of help you lower your chances of getting blocked, is really like the way that I went with it. You're really not going to be shooting layups, so this is where maybe you don't use it. You want to use Silver Back Down Punisher or something like that, maybe even Aerial Wizard. But for me, I want to keep Giant Slayer on just in case I do run into those bigger centers that feel like they get a lot of blocks on you. Slither is just going to help you kind of glide through the paint, and then we know these two badges are the best ones for any inside finishing center. So for your shooting, we're going to go a 79 three-pointer, a 71 mid-range. We're going to go a 56 free throw, which is kind of low. You could get this to like a 60, but really with the popping centers, you're rarely going to get fouled. It'll be a rare chance that you're inside enough to actually get fouled enough for that to matter. With a 56, you'll still be able to green it. I suggest using Michael Jordan, but getting this to a 60 could be a good thing, but I'm going to leave this at a 56. So you do only hit the 16 shooting badges. All I care about is the silver catch and shoot, really, when it comes to these. You'll be able to get limitless range if you wanted to. Claymore is good. We'll talk about the badges in a little bit, but overall, I think a 79 is consistent enough. And then just make sure that you think about what your badges are going to be or your takeovers are going to be, so you'll be able to hit more consistently. But overall, if you're shooting shots that you should be shooting, there should be plenty enough to make those. Combined with this inside ability, you'll be able to score if you're wide open on the 3, and then in the paint you'll be able to score on a lot of players. So with that, check out the best shooting badge setup for this build. For your shooting badges, we're going to go Bronze Blinders. I'm going to do Silver Green Machine. I'm going to do a Silver Volume Shooter. I'm going to do Bronze Agent 3, and then that'll unlock our tier 3s. We're going to go Catch and Shoot Silver. I'm going to core that, and then I'm actually going to put Limitless Range on because I feel like how I play, it's utilized for me. And then Slippery Off Ball I'm going to add in, or you could throw it on Volume Shooter to Gold. And so the explanation behind some of this, Agent 3 just kicks in pretty much anytime you shoot. I don't know why. I know it says improves ability to make pull-up or spin shots, but I've played at center with Agent 3 on, and you'll just be standing there, or like you'll pop out and catch it and then shoot, and it kicks in. So I'm going to have that added. Slippery Off Ball can help with some of your slip animations, just make them faster. And your inside centers don't unlock this, so sometimes as a popper, it's good to have it. Volume Shooter. Of course, like the more you take shots, the better it gets. As a popper, you're not going to get a ton of shots, but it does have an effect on your jump shot, even in your first few shots you take. So I like to have that just to make sure I'm, with the popping center in my head, it's like can you make your first few shots? That's really like what the most important thing is. Blinders, most of the time as a center, when you pop to the top of the key, it's like the side players, the wing players that are coming in, usually the ones that affect my shot the most. So I think having just bronze blinders might help lower those contests, help you green those. Green machine, of course, if you green your first one, now your next one, you're going to be more dangerous to green, and you know, it keeps building upon that. Silver catch and shoot, I think it's a must have for all poppers. And then limitless range. This is kind of like, if you don't want to have it, there are other things here that you could add in. So I understand, like, if you don't want to add limitless range, you want to add in, you know, whatever it is, whatever you kind of feel like your play style, you know, fits into. But for me, I want the ability to go stand on the hash if I had to. So if I pop from the middle and I catch it a little too deep on the hash, maybe I still have the ability to shoot. And that's really just where the bronze limitless kind of comes into play for me. For playmaking, we're going to go with 76 pass accuracy. Truly, we're going to touch like any center build. All I'm worried about is getting the gold break starter. With some center builds I've seen lately, some players are trying to get the Hall of Fame. That's for like the elite levels of Pro-Am, like when you need to throw like perfect breaks. Is it necessary if you're playing rec? I don't think so. But if you do want to compete like at the high level, it could be necessary, but I do think gold is plenty enough. So now check out the best playmaking badges. For your playmaking, we're going to break starter gold. For that, vice grip silver, bronze bailout, bronze clamp breaker, and bronze floor general. For this, this playmaking badge is just kind of universal with every center I've made. Gold break starter, throw the ball down the court. Help you not get ripped with vice grip. You're shooting big, I think bailouts must have. Clamp breaker, it works with post ups when you drive past. It just helps them not bump you as much, even in the PNR. And then floor general, for me, it's going to help your other players hit their shots, all those other things. So overall, playmaking is usually not the most stressful thing to set up as a center, in my opinion. And I do think this is the best way to do it. Now for defense, we're going to go 80 inside or interior defense. We're going to go a 60 perimeter. We're going to go a 61 steal. Block, we're going to go to a 93. Offensive rebound to an 86. And your defensive rebound to 99. So the reason why I wanted to kind of set up the defense the way this is you are going to have good speed. It's in the mid 70s. So you'll be able to actually move around pretty quickly. And so in my opinion, having a good perimeter and a good steal was important for this build, in order to just be able to, if you want to play like in the middle of the PNR and have to guard a guard, you're fast enough, plenty fast enough at 7 foot to do that. But just to make sure you get those ratings that, those hidden kind of like stats that perimeter and steal kind of come with. Interior is an 80. It's not incredibly good, but you do have a gold anchor. If you're in good position, you should be fine. If you go against like 7'3s, it's going to be a long day for pretty much anybody. But with the ability to shoot and finish and all this other stuff, you're pretty much like an all well-rounded type of defender and offensive player. Your blocks, just the threshold to get the gold anchor, just like a lot of builds. I wanted to get it to 99 if I could, but you're not going to be able to shoot, finish, and have all that. So I had to sacrifice offensive rebounding. And in my opinion, like when you're a popping center, majority of the time or most of the time, you're going to be out on the perimeter anyways. So I just feel like offensive rebound is kind of a waste of attribute points to raise to like a super high level, because you're really not going to be down there getting in position. You're going to be majority of the time setting the screen, pop into the wing or pop into the top of the key, whatever it is, and then shooting, or your guards driving in. So I feel like offensive rebound's a waste. That's why I want to go 99 defensive rebound. Although you're usually in good position as a center, we need to get that 99. We need to get the Hall of Fame rebound chaser. And so I feel like as a popping center, I think it's just smart to do your 99 defensive, lower your offensive, and then as an inside center, the opposite, because of where you'll be at, mainly offense. So with that, check out the best defensive badges. For your defense, we're going to go Hall of Fame box out beast, Hall of Fame chase down artist. We're going to go down here to rebound chaser, court at Hall of Fame. I'm going to go silver brick wall, gold anchor, and then I do challenger, interceptor, and you could do bronze workhorse. So with your +4s, I would suggest adding them into either finishing or shooting, one of those two, whatever you prefer. With this build, it's complete even without the +4s. But of course, that would be the two areas I suggest adding your +4s. With shooting, just get more shooting badges, and of course finishing. There's not really any like things you need to hit in order to become kind of dominant in those areas. For your physicals, we're going to go 73 in speed, 59 acceleration. You're gonna go with 76 strength. You're gonna go with 75 vertical. We're gonna go with 95 stamina. So one area that you can drop, and this is back to the free throw, I left it on 59 acceleration. You could drop your acceleration one, and you could put your free throw to a 60 like we talked about. Really with the physicals, acceleration doesn't matter at all. It's all about speed. Acceleration is tied into like ball handling and things like that. So that's one area where you could, you know, sacrifice a little bit just to gain some free throw if you feel like you need it. So I'll leave it with this kind of setup right here. Now here's all the takeovers you get. So with the popping center, I do suggest you having shooting as one of your first ones, whether it be limitless or spot up. In my opinion, I think it's like must have as your first one because you'll actually get your badge. But if it's your secondary, you're only going to get when you have team. And this badge, you become really a threat whenever you get your badge from a center. So as a center, you'll be getting rebounds, things like that. And I put box out wall a second. This is what I suggest, or you could flip it, but you're really never going to get the double take unless it's a team. So I suggest doing your limitless range just to be more of a perimeter threat because you are a threat already inside. And I feel like as a center, getting rebounds, blocks, all that other stuff will really play into you getting your takeover a decent amount. And so that's where I just feel like whether you use spot up or limitless range, I think that it needs to be your first kind of go-to when it comes to your takeover. So with that, we'll see the shades of and what the build's name is: Camby, Nurkic, and Vucevic. And the build name will be just a straight glass cleaner. And that'll be it for this video. If you're interested, I have a Discord link in the description below. If you want to play NBA 2K with myself, or if you want to learn more about the NBA 2K League or tips and tricks about 2K23, that link is in the description below. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.